Multi designation. Professor, mechanical engineer, teacher. Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope everyone getting well by the grace of Almighty Allah. A wonderful day all of you. Welcome to our Institution of Global Professional Free International webinar. Thank you all for joining with us in this marvelous session, and I hope you stay with us till the program end. And time to time you like our Facebook page, Facebook group, and also subscribe our YouTube channel for upcoming information. Dear participants, every day some new participants join with us, so I have to give little concept about IGP. Institute of Global Professional Staff Community and Students Resource providing holistic social work and education for create a competent generation. IGP is online leading skill development institute with thousands of learners worldwide. We organize our webinars, seminar, training, online and offline courses, etc. by best and trained speakers from all over the world. Our mission is to empower our youth. So stay with us by your support. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member, and I feel honored to host this webinar. And it's my delight to welcome you all to our Institution of Global Professional Free International webinar. Once again, I am Kamrul, coordinator of IGP from Bangladesh. Before we have completed our 947 webinars successfully, now I will be presenting webinar number 948, and the topic is literacy versus ability. Dear participants, before inviting our speaker, I request everyone to share this webinar in your newsfeed and social media. And don't forget to mention your friends in the comment box. Dear participants, after our today's speaker presentation, we have quiz competition, and after that we have question and answer session, and finally we proceed to our certification process. Today we have a speaker from Croatia. Today our speaker name is Ma'am Christina Skeller. She is a professor, mechanical engineer, teacher, advisor, and community champion, world-class female leader, and Luani is Croatia chairperson. Let's we welcome our speaker to the screen.
Good
Hello,
evening.
ma'am.
Hello.
Good evening, ma'am. How
Good
are you,
day.
ma'am?
Good morning to all participants from Croatia in Europe.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, please share your screen.
Yes.
May I make it full screen?
Yes. Yes, you
Okay,
see.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
You
Thank
can
you.
start your presentation now.
Yes. Good evening, good morning, good day to everybody around the globe. And today, as a trainer at speed reading last 15 years, I want to share what is the difference of literacy and the ability of the reading and critical thinking. Our brains, when we are born, are not destined to read. We listen, we speak, but we must learn our brain how to read, how to recognize the letters, how to pronounce some voice about that letters. And that is very difficult because the young child, when we are born, we can copy the voices around us. We can copy the shapes around us, but our brain doesn't recognize immediately what is the letter and the sound against them that letter. And because of that, we must push a lot of energy and lot of strong will how to read properly and how to uh, manage our thinking and our critical thinking with that reading ability. Then we more we read, we more prepare our brains to read, and that is the skill you must always uh, exercise with more difficult books. And if you want to stop dementia, increase dementia or Alzheimer, you must read each day. And we will see what is the difference of literacy and ability of reading. That is neurolinguistics science and support every our action with readings. What is the reading literacy? It starts with reprogramming each person's brain. Reading is automations, that assumption of successful readings. The difference from the automations of speaking and listening, our brains are pre-programmed for these activities. Every healthy child will learn the language of the environment. Because of that, uh, if you put your child in Hungary and Sweden or maybe African language, the child will learn in that area what is the environment languages. And because of that, our brain is more uh, neuro-linguistic. They have uh, easy ability to recognize in that environment what is the mom, what is the fruit, what is the water, etc. And if you move the child will easy recognize the similar words. That is the listening and that is the speaking. We don't speak now about reading. We must learn the letters. We must learn how to pronounce each letter in that language, and that is the difficult. No child will learn to read text in that language without special teaching. We must put a lot of energy, a lot of skills, a lot of um, wheels. I want to read on that language, and that is difficult. Automatization of reading is a skill to be learned and practiced. What is the reading literacy? That is the structured steps in the process of mastering reading, recognition of voices in words and signs for voices recognition, the numerous of meanings of words, conclusions of words in the sentence, and the sentence in the text. That is the simple, usable text in newspapers, in the school books. That is not that much difficult text. That is the simple text for masses. And what is the reading ability for prerequisites is automatization. The man who reads badly fails to understand the meaning of what he has reading because his thinking capacity is overloaded. With spelling working memory, its limited capacity, literary and explanatory text. What is that meaning? If you spelling the difficult words, your mind, your brain doesn't understand the whole text. That decoding the letter and letter and letter point, that is capacity of your brain. Your brain doesn't in that time understanding the whole the connotation meaning of that text era. And because of that, we must every week, every day, uh, practice the reading, practice the difficult text with known. If you don't understand some words, you must search in the dictionary and understanding the meaning, the different uh, way of one words. What is the meaning of different way? And with frequent reading, we automated working memory, read with greater ease, and can use more of its capacity to understand the text we read. But the automatization is not enough for critical reading. These two pictures is I have the thing, but I don't have the words. How to send my thinking to you with my words, with reading my words growing, because if we read a lot and frequently, our brain collecting our dictionary, inner dictionary, to understanding how in different way I can share my thoughts. What we have the problem, we have the notice that the vocabulary of today's young people is getting narrowed and shallow. Young people use less and less different words. Young people use a decreasing number of meaning of words. Because of this, they are not able to express themselves precisely and understand. What is the specific words? They are encoded in the brain by means on two paths, conceptual, visual, and linguistic, except for the fact that we hear such words more often and see the things that these words denote: table, window, house, etc. They are easy to see and accepting in our brain. Abstract words are encoding in the brain only with one path, linguistic. We have such words as we see. We don't see them. As a piece, thinking, uh, developing something, uh, critical thinking, maybe innovations, maybe making some problem solving. How we can describe that words: piece, opinion, size, explain, low imageability, psycholinguistic construct. Why? Because they do not exist in the real world, but only in our conceptual world. The easiest way to read and to imagine what that word means. If we are reading, we developed the meaning of that word in our brain, and that is ability. What are the consequences? Neglect of expanding and deepening vocabulary leads to misunderstanding of text. World research showed that there should be no more than 2% on unfamiliar words on a page of the text. What we see, we understand. That is the Goethe say to us. This is one sentence on Hungary language, and we don't understand nothing because we don't know the letters and the meaning of the uh, words on that language. We can understand the text if they don't understand the words and the letters and the how that words is written on that language. And vocabulary understanding in deep reading open the space for critical reading and critical thinking. Scientific research show that breadth and depth of vocabulary are the best predictors of success in schooling and intellectual progress. Young people are taking to each other less and less eye to eye, without unvocabulary conversation, that is body language. Using they don't see that body language, and that they don't understand what is the under meaning of that word or the speaking of the sentence, what they speak to each other or write on the messages. Using the short messages mediated by technology, more how to translate emojis into the words. They have the problems. I have some feelings, I have some meanings, thinking, and I want to share with others, and I will send the emojis. And with that, they have misunderstanding. That is not their mind, that is shortened, that is shallow, and because of that we have a lots of problem in communication, in writing communication or speaking communication. Researchers have shown that the reading process trains the brain cognitive abilities. It also activates parts of the brain that are not used during the other activities. When we read, blood travels into the parts of the brain of responsible for concentration and reasoning. It's important to note that it does not happen when we're watching TV and playing video games. You will see neuroplastic of the brain. These pictures you see on the left side, 5 years girls and boys. You see the blue one. The blue one is the gray matter volume, and if you see the back is visual cortex and the um, bigger motorics of the body, and the children are learning of speaking, movements, and eating and communication in the big in the small sentence, but with lots of misunderstanding what they need. If you practice of reading and learning what the meanings of the words, you growing your vocabulary, your inner dictionary. The blue one is the growing. That is the gray matter of our brain. The blue parts of the brain is that gray matter, and we developed with reading skills. We push the blood travels in the parts of the brain responsible for concentration and reasoning. If we stop the reading near 10 or 15 years, because of that, because of this this ponašanje, wait a minute, I need the words. When we stop in that years, 10 years old or 15 years old, our brain stop to bloating that parts of the brain, and our gray matter doesn't growing and doesn't push the new the skills of the concentration and the reasoning. And that is before COVID-19 and pandemic. That was the science developed the research and developed that theory before COVID. And plus, if we put the new research, what is the now after COVID and isolation and no communication in social area, only communication in technical world, we have lots of decrease of growing our brain gray matter, because we lose the concentration, we lose our ability of uh, deeper concentration of reading and understanding the listening text or text or reading text. And because of that, our brain doesn't develop the gray matter of our brain. uh, if we see this little simulation, when we read, our gray matter develop the volume of that gray matter. The reading the books. If we only watch the TV, we don't grow our gray matter of our brain. What is that meaning? If you read some part, how it's something blue sky with blue sea, the darker sea, the darker clouds are coming, etc., your brain must develop skills of visualization, of imagination, and that is one process. And because of that, your brain developed and bloating that area of your brain. If you watch only TV, you see that blue sky, somebody making default. What is the shadow of that blue sky? What is the shadow of the blue sea? What is the shadow of the clouds? That is everything default. And you just passive income in your brain. Your brain doesn't grow when just everything is under him. Your brain developed their neurons and their area in the gray matter in the brain with your imagination, visualization, and concentration, focusing on that. And in that time, in that four skills, visualization, imagination, concentration, focusing, your gray matter in the brain develop. And that is the blue connected. If you reading and visualization of what is the subject of your reading, and your brain is growing. If you just watching the TV or technologies, your brain is just consumer, not innovation, something in your brain, developing your brain. And that is before, that is scientific research about 2015, 2018, before pandemic isolation. And what is important to read the books? Different readings, different opinions. If we read from the screen, how to process a large amount of information in that short time and orient yourself in the environment to which this information relates, but concentration, interference as grasshoppers like mind. If you read something like this, you see in the right corner your sign of how long is your battery, maybe your signal or something this. And because of that, your viewing of the text is not linear, is not fluid. Your mind hoping or jumping like grasshopper on that ecran or on that slide. And because of that, our uh, our brain cannot focusing on your deeper focus, on your words meaning, and develop the skills of understanding, deeper understanding of the text. And that is reading from the screen in the short time. What is what we need when we read the book? We must have the time, we must have the concentration, we must put our visualization, we must put imagination and focusing of the letter, of deeper meaning, of understanding what we are saw on that paper books. Longer attention to a single problem or story, we can stop and come back. We can stop and come back. We understand longer text better if we read from the books. That is the magic when we make our imagination, our visualization, our focusing, and we must develop our inner strength to put long long, deeper time to go into the book. But when you're scrolling on the screen, you see all that some small images, small icons, emojis, etc. What is jumping on your screen, and that is not on your book with the paper book. And because of that is the better and important to read the books until 2025, because you develop your gray matter of the brain. When problems with prolonged concentration on the screen, we read by flyover, short terms intense concentration. The problem flying over as an adopted way of reading threatens to run over the ability to read more permanently in deep, that we will not be able to activate it even when we encounter text in a printed book. That is mean if we developed flying only seeing and go further, just short ability to read and understanding what we are seeing, we can, after some times, maybe 1 year, 7 months or something like this, you can develop your skills with uh, deeper understanding, or deeper ability to be with your books more than 10 minutes. What is the Microsoft research in year 216? This. They research the ability of focusing the golden fish. The golden fish can be focusing 9 seconds in one point. That is the Microsoft researching. And the people with screens of mobile phone, tablets, internet, laptop, or something like this, technology, the people can focusing and being on one page, on one information, 8 seconds. That is disaster. And I think after these 6 years, I think it will be less for us, less seconds. The benefits of reading is the reading is training empathy and better understanding ourselves, training creativity and critical thinking. Reading is training empathy and better understanding ourselves. Sorry, that is the one more time. Reading is an excellent tool against burnout syndrome in a civilization obsessed with measuring efficiency. According to 29 year study, just 6 minutes of reading are interesting. An interesting book reduce stress levels. Because of that, children and people working on computer and corporation, and maybe at the beginning of the dementia, Alzheimer disease, uh, we must read just 6 minutes per day. Uh, if I know how to think analytical and if I'm empathic, the internet can be important help for me in finding the wide variety of solution. If I don't know how to think, the internet will only amplify my stupidity. That is Kovac, Slovenian researcher. And what is the by reading we develop the ability persuade and collaborate. Research on professional abilities. Managers with association value creativity, ability to persuade, and ability to collaborate it and listen the most. Because if we don't develop skills of concentration in the book, we can develop concentration to listen others and active listen, not just answering what they speak, but listening and searching the meaning, uh, searching the feelings of that other people communicate in communication canal. And because of that, if we don't develop that skills when we are reading the books, we can develop that skills in communication around the people. Successful people know how to think strategical. They are subtle enough to know how to find unconventional solution and to know how to convince those with whom they work. Because of that, growing empathy in your environment. If you read a book, you develop your time management, focusing, imagination, visualization. You can imagine how your uh, person with in communication feeling, how what is the deeper mind meaning of that words when he speaks. And because of that, it's better understanding each other. And this is the book's first four is on the Croatian and Slovenian area in uh, in reading ability, reading to reading myself, reader come back home at of Marian Wolf. Sorry, that is the from I think German. This is curiosity. Curiosity is the third book. Reading to understanding others, and that is scientific research in Croatia. This is an amazing teenager brain from Jensen, Dr. Jensen. It's amazing function magnet resonance of snimanje. Wait a minute. She snimanje, kako se veli snimanje? Recording the function magnet resonance teenager brain, and everything what I speak today, it's described in that book. And if you have Manfred Spitzer, Epidemic of Smartphone and Digital Dementia, you will see that is a research before pandemic isolation. And because of that, if you read the books after my this webinar, you will see how it's important to read the book, because you can develop your critical thinking, because you must have in your brain lots of different sources about one subject. What is the critical thinking? It's a complex process, and that is the results of the 4 steps. You have 4 steps in your brain. First, analyzing and evaluation claims, assertion, judgment, thesis, pro- proposition, and use it as synonyms. My daughter now with 14 years, she learned what is the synonyms. One words, how you the same meaning you can explain with different synonyms, with different words that call we synonyms. And the second step is finding justification for claims. Where you will finding, you must research. Third, comparing with other people or other research, other sources, and or opposing claims and generating objections, assertion, and finally, you must taking a stand. That is the 4 steps, taking your stand. That is the critical thinking. Not just I see there, and I will speak something. No, no. You must make all these 4 steps. If you don't make all these 4 steps, that is not critical thinking. And because of that, we must read different sources of books. Okay, we must read the articles of internet. It's no problem, but better on the paper. That is research find. What is the power speed reading? That is the preparing. We have 3 steps for preparing our brain how to deep reading, speed reading, and going deep in that texts. Curiosity and writing 4 basic information. What is the main character and the supporting character? What is the relationship of they and what is the place and time of action in that book? That is from belletristic book. We wrote in the colors in the mental map or cognitive map of brain map on the paper. You see, that is not in the line notice. And we in that steps we practice sensory memory, and because of that we focusing on our subject. We increase we developed our visualization, our imagination in that steps, in curiosity. The second step of power speed reading is quick folding. Just quick folding, we practice expanding the field of view and get acquainted from the cover to cover with the content. Are there subtitles, pictures, diagrams, numbers, damages, scratches? That is introduce our brain. We introduce our brain how much pages we have, what is inside. That is not that when we are reading can be surprise. Our brain recognize, oh, I see that, it's no problem, go further. And what is the page? It's no problem, I know it's 270 page. And that is introduce our brain of holistic, that is holistic steps. The focus is the third steps for our brain and our body. 1 to 2 minutes of relaxation, directing attention to clear the head of thoughts and thoughts. Empty heads enter the book. We going with empty heads. If we are breathing, just breathing 1 minute before reading, we will be better focused when we are having text observation techniques. We have 4 text observation techniques that depend individually on the reader. We practice rhythm techniques and the speed of passing through the text, from simple text as a text for the youth, maybe 7, 8 years old, to the demanding such as Murakami, Tolstoy, or Hemingway. During the observation, we often write in the mental we often write in the our mental map or cognitive map, and during the observation and the skills of seeing the text, we have the music of 60 beat per minute, and that is the classic Baroque music, and that is better focusing our head and our mind to our books, and we return to focus if we something distract us. In 24 hours we exercise and we practice the power speed reading on 12 to 15 books of each over the 100 pages up to the 300 pages. That here developed emotion inclusion in reading, deep understanding of reading, global holistic image, and connection with previous personal knowledge is we developed. And that all this is one technique that everybody, and dyslexic and this graphic uh, problem with focusing, ADHD problem with movements, problem with any problem with your brain, with reading, these techniques can help to others, to you. This is the steps, the same writing. And if you have the question, this is more important. We must read lots of books to develop our critical thinking and our understanding others when they speaking to us. Thank you. I'm the finish, and if somebody have question, I can explain.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Ma'am, we have a question and answer session after our quiz competition session. Okay,
It's a
ma'am.
very poor connection. I can't understand anything. Sorry.
Okay, ma'am. Can you hear me clearly now?
I
Can
have
Can you hear
problem.
me, ma'am?
Can you read in the chat? You can speak, but I don't know that anybody understand.
Okay, ma'am. I will say in the chat box. Thank you. Dear participants, now we are going to our quiz competition, and after a short video clips, we come back again. Thank you, everyone. Dear participants, this is our quiz session time. You can join this session by slido.com, and after that you have to enter the code, and the code is quiz IGP. The code is quiz IGP. You can scan our QR code from the screen to join this live quiz session. And to the top 10 quiz competition winners get their quiz certificate after the session from our official Facebook page. Our Facebook page address is Institute of Global Professionals. Don't forget to mention your friends in the comment box to join this live quiz session. And I also request everyone to join with your full name, which will directly print on your quiz certificate. And after this quiz session, we have question and answer session with our speaker. And after that, we proceed to our certification process. So I request everyone to join with your full name, and don't forget to mention your friends in the comment box to join this live quiz session. Now 27 participants already joined with us. We start our quiz competition after 2 minutes later. So join the hurry up and mention your friends in the comment box to join this live quiz session. Dear participants, to join this session, you have to go to slido.com, and after that you have to enter the code, and the code is quiz IGP. Then you can join this live quiz session. You can scan our QR code from the screen to join this live quiz session. Now 40 participants already joined. We start our quiz competition now, so be ready. Our first question is, attachment is the ability to gain personal benefit from relationships with others or from emotional bonds with other people. Option number 2, from emotional bonds with other people, is the right answer. Let's we move to our next question. Our second question is, the ability to accept or put up with different views or behaviors, is it pilgrim or tolerance? Option number 2, tolerance, is the right answer. Next question is, the ability to understand another person's emotional condition, is perspective taking or empathy? Option number 2, empathy is the right answer. Next question is, the ability of some people to fare well in the face of risk factors is referred to as coping ability or resilience. Option number 2, resilience is the right answer. Next question is, dash is the ability to express ideas and feelings, use words, manipulate tools and media, and solve problems. Is it physical development or creative expression through the arts? Option number 2, creative expression through the arts is the right answer. Next question is, literacy is the ability to read and write or the rating of how well you write. Option number 2, the rating of how well you write is the right answer. Next question is, a literacy area should be cozy. The statement is true or false? Option number 1, the statement is true. Next question is, literacy activities should engage the students. The statement is true or false? Option number 1, the statement is true. Our second last question is, which is not a literacy activity? Is it file board or worksheet? Option number 2, worksheet is the right answer. Last and final question is, digital literacy, what is it? Option number 1, writing and literature online or inappropriate fanfics. Option number 1, writing and literature online is the right answer. Thank you everyone and congratulations of our top 10 quiz competition winners. Top 10 quiz competition winners get their quiz certificate after the session from our official Facebook page. Our Facebook page address is Institute of Global Professionals. On the leaderboard now the top position is Lara and second one is Joel Bannasor and the third one is Salian and Infanti and the fourth one is Michael Tarasina and the fifth one is Cyrilin Kalizia Magusi and the sixth one is Joel Bannasor and the seventh one is Lipa Kunla. And the eighth one is Sunday, and one is Kaifa Rivera, and the last one is Kyung Ishaya. Thank you everyone for your active participation in this quiz session. Now we are going to our Q&A session. After a short video clip, we come back again. Dear participants, our top one is Lara, and she is the daughter of our today's speaker. Thank you, Lara, for your active participation in this quiz session. Now we are going to our Q&A session. After a short video clips, we come back again. Welcome back, ma'am. Dear participants, this is our question and answer session. You can send your question in our comment box. If you have any question related this topic, you can ask the question in the comment box. And can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you, ma'am. And congratulations to our top one quiz competition winners, Lara.
She read the books and she understands very good English. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, our first question is, why is automation not enough for critical thinking?
Because if we only have automation, just reading the book, when we close the book, we must overview what we are reading, where we are hear or read something similar, and because of that we must connecting our sources in our books, our articles, maybe other opinion, and research that other opinion in different ways, because if we just read, we don't develop our inner critical thinking. I said that is the 4 steps, and because of that 4 steps, reading, researching, getting the marks, what is the benefits of this opinion, of that opinion, and you connecting all this and taking the stand. And that is critical thinking. That is not only automatization of reading.
Thank you, ma'am. Next question is, good evening, ma'am Christina. And the question is, why is thinking a complex process?
Why is thinking complex? Because if we just reproduce, I read that in that book, that is not my opinion, that is not my thinking. I must collecting the different, what is the thinking of Anna Karenina? What is the thinking of Madame Bovary? What is the thinking of mothers in 21st century? And if I collecting the different thinking, I will develop my inner thinking. And that is the complex, Because if we have one sources that is only simply, too simply living in that very colorful life around us, which surround around us, in that a beautiful environment, we have a lots of different opinion and different thinking. Because of that, that is the complex process.
Thank you, ma'am. And next question is, why is literacy not the ability to read and write, but the rating of how to write well?
Wait a minute, what is literacy? Not the ability to read? Because the literacy is the recognition of the letters and what is the meaning of that word. But ability is the ability connection, the same word, the different meaning. Maybe different meaning is the maybe the synonyms and acronyms, etc. You have developed other skills if you have ability. The literacy is only recognizing the letters and the words and the simply sentence. That is the literacy. The reading ability inside is the more difficult and more higher process in our brain. That is evaluation, that is analyzing, that is synthesizing, that is not literacy ability, reading literacy. Okay, reading literacy, is only the simply simplify, and ability is more higher process in our brain.
Thank you. And the next question is, how do we promote positive attitude towards literacy in young children who don't know how to read and write?
Okay, my daughter always see my husband and me, we are a lot of books we read, but when the children start to read the book, what is the reading, what is the letter, what is the voice of that letter, that is very hard to that brain, that young brain, that is the new skills, very, very hard. And we as older must sit together and reading together. You have one paper, and you have the line of the your text. Mother read one line, father read the second line. The child try to read as them, and the grandma, grandpa, or any people around you. The reading is the making together activities, and that children see how you read and they learn as a copy. They see how you pronounce and how you spend the time in that reading, and the children will be willing to spending the time, and they will to develop their skills of reading. Because in this time the children doesn't see the olders and the others reading the books.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation, and you answer all the questions. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much for sharing your valuable knowledge with our participants. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, what is your last and final words for our participants?
My last word. Sorry. I read the comments and the questions. I want to share to everybody. It's important to read any book, any text. Just read. Don't take in first moment your opinion. Let few days, maybe few months, and take opinion after that, after reading. Not when you're reading. You read, you make one critical thinking, but opinion, your stand, after few times, after sometimes you take your stand and opinion. because it must be related in our brain, connecting with different sources, information, etc., and support the child and everybody to read. Small book, not big. Start with 50 pages per day, 5 pages. It's okay. It will be stress relief. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, thank you so much for your active participation in this session. My lovely audience, today is my last day in IGP platform. Thank you so much for supporting me and supporting IGP. And I request you forgive me if I have been hurt by any message or any words. Please forgive me, and also everyone pray for me. And on this long journey, one of the person always help me, and she is Ma'am Maribel de la Cruz. Thank you, Ma'am Maribel de la Cruz, for supporting me. Now we are going to share our certification process. After a short video clip, we come back again. Dear participants, today our program name is, I think this is, I think the program name is wrong, and the program name is Literacy versus Ability, and the code is IGP 5858. The code is IGP 5858. The code is correct, but the program name is something wrong. Without code, no one is eligible for certificate. With code, you can claim your certificate anytime from our website. Our website address is eduigp.com. To download your certificate, first of all, you have to create an account on our website, and after that you have to enroll the program, and after that you have to enroll the program and putting the code. The code is IGP 5858, and after that you can download your e-certificate. And after downloading your e-certificate, don't forget to celebrate with IGP checking. Thank you everyone, and please pray for me for my future. Thank you everyone. I also miss you everyone. Thank you. Stay happy and stay safe. God bless you. Thank you everyone.